Every year on February 5th, Pakistani nation and Kashmiris in Azad Jammu and Kashmir observe Day of Solidarity with the hapless Kashmiris brethren of Indian-occupied Kashmir, enslaved by India since the time of partition by illegally occupying the state. On this day, seminars, conferences and rallies are held, and marches are organized in cities, towns and villages of Pakistan and Azad Kashmir to highlight the Indian atrocities in occupied Kashmir. Objective of observing this day is to create awareness on Kashmir issue all over the world, so that international community should take notice of Indian state terrorism and to remind the United Nations its promises to end its apathy towards the issue. Pakistani masses and the government have always felt the pain of Kashmiri brethren and provided them political, moral and diplomatic support. Pakistan has endeavored to divert the United Nations and world community attention towards human rights violations and war crimes of Indian Army in occupied state. Every year on February 5th, the most important event of the day remains the human chain made on the bridges linking Pakistan with Azad Jammu and Kashmir, where Kashmiris and Pakistanis demonstrate that they enjoy unbreakable bonds.
Mr. President, 100,000 Kashmiris have died in the past 30 years because they were denied the right given by the United Nations, the right for self-determination. 100,000 have died and 11,000 women have been raped. There are two United Nations human rights reports on this. The world hasn't done anything because India is a huge market, 1.2 billion people. Sadly, the material prevails over the human. But this has serious consequences. And I've come here to tell the UN, this is a test for the United Nations. You are the one who guaranteed the people of Kashmir the right of self-determination. They are suffering because of that.
In 1947, the people of the subcontinent got freedom from British colonial rule, and two independent dominions of Pakistan and India were created. Under the principles of partition plan, state of Jammu and Kashmir was to become natural part of Pakistan due to its overwhelming Muslim majority and contiguity with Pakistan. On July 19, 1947, the representative party of Kashmiri masses, All Jammu and Kashmir Muslim Conference, adopted a unanimous resolution for accession to Pakistan. But on October 27, under a preconceived conspiracy, Indian Army invaded Srinagar and tried to annex the state forcibly. The people of Jammu and Kashmir stood up against illegal Indian occupation and resisted the Indian Army. And when India, foreseeing a humiliating defeat at the hands of pro-freedom Kashmiris, New Delhi approached United Nations claiming that Pakistan was interfering in the state. But the UN rejected the Indian claim and granted Kashmiris right to self-determination on January 5, 1949. Overall, the UN has adopted over a dozen resolutions asking for grant of right to self-determination to Kashmiris. The then Indian Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru not only accepted these resolutions, but India also gave assurance of their implementation to grant Kashmiris right to self-will. But later, India started using delaying tactics and backtracked from its solemn commitment at World Forum and started claiming Kashmir as integral part of India. Kashmiri masses have never accepted Indian slavery and illegal occupation and always reiterated their pledge for freedom from India and accession to Pakistan. Hearts of Pakistani people and Kashmiri masses beat in unison, as they are united in bonds of history, religion, geography, culture, and these relations have withstood all tests of times. Kashmiris in Indian-occupied Kashmir also share Pakistanis' happiness and grief. Whenever Pakistan wins any match in sports arena, Kashmiris celebrated wholeheartedly, and Kashmiri students in schools and colleges and local players wear kit of Pakistani cricket team eagerly and sing Pakistani national anthem with zeal and fervor by risking their lives. Dead bodies of Kashmiri martyrs are often wrapped in Pakistani flags at the time of funeral, where tens of thousands of Kashmiris throng to attend their funerals. Despite gross human rights violations and atrocities being committed by the occupation forces, Kashmiri masses are fighting against foreign occupation forces with great spirit and offering unprecedented sacrifices. They demand right to self-determination as promised in United Nations resolutions. Since January 1989, over 95,400 Kashmiris have been martyred as punishment for demand to self-determination by Indian Army. 158,300 Kashmiris have been arrested. Indian Army has been using rape of Kashmiri women as weapon of war, and so far they have molested over 11,100 Kashmiri women in past 30 years. Over 10,000 Kashmiri youth have been disappeared after arrest, while 7,120 Kashmiris were killed during custody. Over 109,440 houses and properties have been put on fire, and more than 22,900 women have been widowed by killing their husbands, while over 107,700 children have been orphaned. Indian Army has been targeting innocent Kashmiri youth, even children, including toddlers, with pellet guns, and consequently, thousands of Kashmiris have lost their eyesight. But no Indian inhuman tactic can end Kashmiri's love for Pakistan. Rather, their love for Pakistan is increasing with increasing atrocities. On August 5th last year, fascist Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi unilaterally revoked the Articles 370 and 35A, which granted occupied Kashmir limited autonomy and imposed round-the-clock curfew in the entire state, with complete suspension of internet and telephone services. The lockdown practically converted the state into a big jail. Thousands of Kashmiris have been arrested and sent to various Indian jails. In Kashmir, serious shortage of edible items and medicines has created a humanitarian crisis. In this difficult time, the people and government of Pakistan are rendering their full support to the just and noble cause of the Kashmiri people. The day of February 5th makes it crystal clear that Kashmir is jugular vein of Pakistan, and Pakistanis feel the pain of Kashmiri brethren. Latest Indian steps to convert Indian-occupied Kashmir into Union territory have further strengthened Kashmiri's determination and resolve to get rid of the Indian slavery and join Pakistan.